Member for Scarborough. Is that all right?
Madam Speaker, I rise today in support of the Construction Industry Portable Paid Long Service Leave Amendment Bill 2025. This bill achieves 5 important outcomes. 1, it's covering construction work on ships and vessels. It closes the gap left by the 2016 WA IRC decision. From now on, construction workers performing construction work on vessels will have their service count. Self-propelled vessels are covered only where work is clearly construction, like affixing cranes or maintaining cable laying machines, not ordinary shipbuilding or ship maintenance. Number 2, fairness during stand-downs. This bill ensures that days of service accrue when workers are stood down. As we saw during COVID, this corrects an anomaly where contributions were still made, but service wasn't counted. Fairness on workers' compensation. This bill clarifies that workers continue to accrue long service leave when on workers' comp, bringing construction into line with other industries. Early access in times of hardship. Workers facing permanent incapacity, terminal illness or death will now be able to access accrued entitlements early, subject to a modest qualifying period that provides dignity and fairness for workers and families. Better governance of the board. This bill makes practical changes, allowing meetings by remote access, circular resolutions for urgent matters, acting arrangements if the chair is absent, and permitting board members to direct their fees to their principal employer. These are common sense reforms for modern governance. This bill is important in expanding, strengthening the construction industry portable paid long service leave that provides support and stability to the construction industry workforce, a skilled workforce that is essential to this state's future and present. They build and maintain our housing, hospitals, schools. They support our clean energy transition, build defence assets and support the mining industry. The Construction Industry Long Service Leave Scheme is incredibly important to supporting the Western Australian construction industry and workforce. I know firsthand the value of this scheme. As the only electrician and one of only 2 tradespeople in this parliament, I have first-hand knowledge of how this construction industry is a place where workers move due to the nature of the industry, from job to job, employer to employer and contract to contract. In my time working in the industry, I accrued and used the construction industry portable paid long service leave. I noted in my inaugural speech that I made a conscious decision to go back to school in my 20s. Going back to school at the age of 24 wasn't an easy prospect, moving from full-time employment into full-time study for 6 months. I had saved money, but I was also supported by accessing my construction industry portable paid long service leave. Finishing my education as an adult was a pivotal step in my path to further education, into politics and into this House to represent my community of Scarborough. The construction industry portable long service leave made that possible, and I honestly find the member for Cottesloe's contribution arrogant and out of touch, just like the Liberal Party. Portability of long service leave recognises the structure of the industry itself and the importance of supporting its skilled workers. That portability is so important. In my apprenticeship, when my construction long service leave accrual began, I was employed by a group trading organisation known as Electrical Group Training. During my apprenticeship, I moved between many different companies or hosts, as is normal. These placements provided me with a broad range of experience across different areas of electrical construction and the trade sector. They range from house bashing or residential construction in the Peel region, constructing apartments in Maylands, building dongers in the Henderson Naval Base area, otherwise known as portable buildings, that service mining industry and workers' accommodation and offices. Commercial construction around Jandakot and Perth Airport, a period of FIFO restoring a nickel refinery in the Midwest that had been care and maintenance for a significant period, and towards the end, high voltage installation and maintenance at Jandakot Airport and even Perth Zoo once. It is a common factor for GTO apprentices and all workers in the construction industry to move from job to job under the normal conditions of an industry that is constantly shifting, an industry that can be highly susceptible to external shocks, especially global challenges. For instance, the global financial crisis hit during my apprenticeship. Western Australia felt a sharp shock from the global financial crisis. Mining investments stalled, construction activity slowed, jobs were shelved, unemployment jumped. FIFO workers were made redundant and too many apprenticeships were cut, creating a skill gap that has lingered long beyond the recovery from the GFC. During this time, the Barnett government did move to keep mining approvals moving, but when the downturn hit, most of the support was directed to the companies, things like royalty deferrals and tax relief. Workers and apprentices did not receive the same level of protection. Apprenticeship numbers fell, TAFE fees increased, leaving WA with a skills gap that persisted well beyond the bust. But crucially, the Rudd government stimulus steadied the ship. The nation building and jobs plan, especially the school building programs and expanded social housing programs, notably kept contractors on the tools, apprentices engaged and work flowing through the pipeline until private investment returned. I saw this firsthand on the tools. I worked briefly on those stimulus-funded projects that now stand as a legacy of that time, one that I'm reminded of whenever I visit my local schools like Scarborough, North Beach, Newborough, where libraries and classrooms stand as more than just buildings. They are places of learning and community, and a reminder that government decisions in tough times can leave a broad range of lasting benefits for generations. Moving from short-term to short-term placement during my apprenticeship during this GFC time was an easy pill to swallow because there was a real substantial fear for me and many other apprentices that the downturn would cost my apprenticeship, my future. During this time, my long service leave stayed with me. It moved with me from job to job, from placement to placement. The GFC is an example of how external shocks can severely impact on the stability of the Western Australia's construction industry and its workforce. Why portable long service leave is so important to the workforce it services. More recently, there was another global shock that impacted on this industry. By contrast, during COVID, the WA Labor government stepped up for workers. I was on the ground in the Pilbara, or more accurately, probably a kilometre underground as an underground electrical technician. There was a real and significant fear that the FIFO industry would collapse, and with it, a huge disruption to all industries that rely on it, including the construction industry. But the WA Labor government declared mining and construction essential, kept projects going and provided certainty, but also rolled out a $5.5 billion recovery plan and put targeted support into apprenticeships and training. Because of these decisive actions of the WA Labor government, the mining industry didn't collapse. We not only protected the workforce, but provided stability in a crisis and invested in essential skills. The result was that WA kept its economy moving and kept and increased apprentices in training and ensured a skills pipeline that grew for the future and kept many, many people in jobs. Madam Speaker, my background as a tradie puts me in a unique position in this place. I have lived the challenges and the opportunities. I know the on-site reality. Electricians form a core part of a skilled workforce that are the backbone of our economy, powering everything from housing and defence to manufacturing and the transition to clean energy. As we head towards net zero by 2050, that demand for skilled sparkies will only accelerate. And the Cook government is positioning WA to meet that future strategically, comprehensively and ambitiously. We're delivering residential battery rebates and no-interest loans, putting approximately $337 million into the residential battery scheme to support around 100,000 households. That pipeline of solar and battery system installation creates sustained local work for electricians, work that sits squarely within the broader construction industry. More broadly, our Made in WA plan invests in local manufacturing and economic diversification. We're allocating $2.7 billion to boost economic infrastructure and local production, everything from electric buses and ferries to batteries and biomedical prisons. These projects depend on a skilled workforce, and it's exactly that workforce whose stability is strengthened by this legislation. But demand alone isn't enough. You need people with the right skills, and that means investing in training and apprenticeships. The Cook government is also delivering targeted programs to strengthen the electrical industry and the skilled construction workforce. We have reintroduced the Adult Apprentice Employer Incentive Program to help close the wage gap for employers taking on construction apprentices over 21. Since it reopened at the beginning of July, there has already been a significant uptake. We recognise the importance of group training organisations in supplying skilled tradespeople. We are supporting another 225 places for GTOs to recruit more apprentices and trainees in the in-demand skills needed to deliver housing and other major infrastructure projects. Growing WA's own skill base is our priority, but while apprentices and trainees are building those skills, we are also supporting the industry to bring in fully qualified workers. That's why we've extended both the Build a Life in WA incentive and the Construction Visa Subsidy Program, which together have already seen more than 1,340 skilled tradies commence work in Western Australia. These are part of our commitment to build and support a skilled, diverse and job-ready workforce for the future of Western Australia. And it goes hand in hand with this bill, which ensures that we train, recruit, retain workers across our construction sector, maintain their long service entitlements and make sure they remain secure, fair and portable wherever that work takes them. Portable long service leave isn't just about entitlements. It's about providing support to a workforce in an industry where stability can be lacking. When workers know their hard-earned service won't be lost because they've changed employer or project, they're more likely to stay in the industry longer term. This bill strengthens that system, expands its reach and provides better governance. It is fair, compassionate and practical. It supports workers, employers and the future of the construction industry in WA. And as someone who has been on the tools, I know how much stability, training and respect for long service mean to our tradespeople. This bill delivers exactly that, and I commend it to the House.